Arjun Khanna and Riya Mehta appeared to live the perfect life, surrounded by luxury and admiration. But beneath the glittering facade, secrets were tearing their world apart. Riya's late-night trips to Dubai and mysterious connections to a powerful millionaire named Zayed al-Rashid were only the beginning of a dangerous double life. What started as betrayal and infidelity spiraled into a web of international crime, deceit, and deadly revenge. Arjun, a man once blinded by love, would soon transform into a calculating force, orchestrating a plan so cold and precise that no one, not even Riya or Zayed, would see it coming. This is the story of a marriage shattered, a criminal empire exposed, and a husband whose vengeance crossed oceans and left no trace. Arjun Khanna and his wife Riya lived in a luxurious apartment overlooking the busy streets of Mumbai. To everyone outside their home, they were the picture of success. Arjun's stable job in finance and Riya's boutique business created an image of a modern, comfortable couple. Their social media was filled with perfect photos, smiling faces, and vacations that made people envy their lifestyle. But inside their home, the atmosphere had changed quietly over the past year, turning colder with each passing month. Arjun began noticing that Riya no longer showed interest in the routines they once enjoyed. She avoided family dinners, spent long evenings outside, and locked her phone whenever she was around him. Small habits that used to feel normal suddenly became suspicious. Riya returned home with unfamiliar perfumes on her clothes, new luxury handbags she never explained, and a calm, distant expression whenever Arjun tried to ask harmless questions. Her eyes often drifted away, as if she carried a secret she had no intention of sharing. The change was slow enough that Arjun first blamed himself. He wondered if work stress had pulled him away from her. He thought maybe she needed space, or maybe their marriage was simply entering a difficult phase. But the signs kept growing too clear to ignore. Her late nights turned into weekend trips that she claimed were for supplier meetings. Her expenses increased sharply, yet she never brought home anything related to her boutique. She appeared more polished, more confident, almost as if someone else was guiding her into a new world he knew nothing about. Arjun tried to hold on to the belief that things were still normal, but every instinct told him the truth was unfolding behind his back. Their perfect life was nothing more than a mask, and beneath it, something dangerous was beginning to take shape, something he was completely unprepared for. Arjun's uneasy suspicion grew stronger when he discovered something he could not explain. While reviewing their monthly finances, he noticed unfamiliar airline charges linked to Dubai. Riya had never mentioned any international trips, yet the records showed she had flown there more than once in the past few months. Each trip was brief, hidden between vague business excuses, and none of them appeared in her boutique's official accounts. The discovery felt like a sudden crack in the safe world he thought he controlled. Curiosity pushed Arjun to investigate further. He contacted a friend who worked at an airport security office, hoping for harmless clarification. Instead, what he received unsettled him even more. Riya had traveled under a priority code usually reserved for elite business guests, and her hotel check-ins were all at luxury towers far beyond what her boutique income could justify. It was clear she was living a second life, one filled with wealth and connections he knew nothing about. Arjun's search led him to uncover repeated calls on her phone bill to an international number registered in Dubai. When he traced it, the name Zayed al-Rashid appeared. Zayed was a well-known millionaire in the Gulf, associated with luxury gold trading, private yachts, and exclusive events attended only by the most powerful people. His reputation included quiet rumors about underground deals and dangerous circles that rarely made it into the news. The more Arjun learned, the more the truth tightened around him. Riya's sudden change in lifestyle matched everything about Zayed's world: extravagant gifts, secret trips, and unexplained confidence. She was not just visiting Dubai. She was stepping deeper into a life he had never imagined she could reach or desire. As Arjun pieced together her movements, the picture became clearer and more disturbing. Riya was connected to a world far beyond simple infidelity. She had crossed into the orbit of a man whose influence could reshape. Ria's secret life grew deeper and more dangerous with every trip she made to Dubai. What began as a private escape and a luxury gradually turned into a role she never expected to hold. Zayed al-Rashid was not interested in her boutique or her dreams. He was interested in the access she unknowingly provided. Through her, he discovered that Arjun worked in a financial sector connected to gold import planning, investment trends, and private client portfolios. Ria became a silent pathway into information Zayed could not obtain openly. Over time, Ria started carrying documents during her trips, files she claimed were business proposals for her boutique. In truth, they were confidential summaries copied from Arjun's work laptop whenever he stepped away. She believed the risk was small and the rewards too tempting. Zayed treated her generously, offering expensive jewelry, designer clothing, and stays at private villas. These luxuries made her feel valued in a way she convinced herself she had been missing. What Ria failed to understand was that Zayed's interest in her had shifted from personal to strategic. She was becoming a link between multiple countries, moving information that supported his expanding gold trade operations. The data she delivered helped him predict market movements and dodge regulations. Each delivery pulled her deeper into a network where mistakes were not forgiven. Arjun remained unaware of the details, but he sensed something was terribly wrong. Ria acted more confident, almost untouchable, as if the fear of consequences no longer applied to her. She purchased items far beyond their income, using money that did not come from their accounts. Her boutique showed no unusual growth, yet her lifestyle elevated dramatically. Meanwhile, Ria grew addicted to the thrill. She believed she was important to Zayed's world, imagining herself climbing into a life of influence and power. But she did not realize that she was becoming disposable, another Youssef. Arjun's growing suspicion finally turned into certainty the day he received an unmarked envelope at his office. Inside were printed photos showing Ria entering a private Dubai villa known to belong to Zayed al-Rashid. The images were clear, time-stamped, and undeniable. Along with the photos was a small USB drive containing screenshots of financial transfers and encrypted messages linked to Ria's email accounts. Every file pointed to her involvement in activities far beyond infidelity. She had become part of Zayed's underground operations without hesitation or fear. The shock hit Arjun with a force he had never experienced. The betrayal was layered, personal, financial, and criminal. His life, reputation, and career were now at risk because of choices he had never been aware of. The woman he had trusted had placed him in the center of a network he wanted no connection to. The weight of humiliation grew heavier every time he replayed the images in his mind. He realized that confronting Ria would do nothing. She had already crossed too many lines and involved herself with people who would not hesitate to destroy anyone in their path. Instead of reacting emotionally, Arjun forced himself into a cold, focused state of mind. He spent nights studying every document, message, and transaction linked to her. He consulted discreet experts who could trace digital footprints without leaving any record. What he uncovered was worse than he expected. Ria had used his work credentials multiple times. She had transferred sensitive summaries that could be tied back to him if an investigation ever began. In the eyes of the law, he could easily appear complicit. Arjun realized he was standing at the edge of a disaster crafted by someone he once loved. Staying silent meant risking exposure. Confronting her meant risking retaliation from Zayed's circle. The only path left was one that protected him completely, one that ensured neither Ria nor Zayed could ever threaten his life. Arjun began constructing a plan that relied not on emotion, but on precision. He understood that striking directly at Ria or Zayed would expose him immediately. Instead, he focused on the fragile balance within Zayed's operations. Through the documents Ria had unknowingly carried, Arjun learned that Zayed's gold network was under pressure from rival groups who had been trying to uncover his routes and suppliers for months. They lacked only one thing: proof. Arjun realized he could provide exactly that: without anyone knowing the source. Using the information from the USB drive, Arjun created forged digital files that suggested Riya had been secretly collaborating with Zayed's enemies. He crafted fake bank transfers under her name, edited travel logs, and prepared documents that showed she had been leaking Zayed's gold shipment details. Each forged file matched the style of the originals, making them nearly impossible to distinguish from real evidence. Arjun then set up anonymous channels to deliver the information to Zayed's most dangerous rivals. He understood that these rivals operated with brutal efficiency. Once they believed someone had betrayed them, their response was immediate and merciless. Arjun did not need to direct them. He only needed to light the fuse. The information he sent positioned Riya as a traitor who had played both sides and made it appear that Zayed had grown careless by trusting her. It was enough to convince the rival group that eliminating both of them would stabilize their control. With the trap in motion, Arjun tracked Riya's upcoming travel plans. She was scheduled to visit Zayed at a remote desert estate for what she believed was a private business retreat. Arjun knew the rivals monitored all movement connected to Zayed's known locations. As soon as Riya's arrival was logged, the rival group would see it as confirmation of their forged intelligence. Arjun watched the pieces fall into place with cold clarity. He had not threat. The night at the desert estate unfolded with a calm that felt misleadingly peaceful. The isolated property stretched across miles of sand, far from the city and protected by high walls and private security. Riya arrived with confidence, unaware that her movements had been traced from the moment she checked in at the Dubai airport. She entered the estate believing she was stepping into an evening of luxury and influence, unaware that the forged evidence Arjun created had already circulated through Zayed's rival network. Every rival operative watching Zayed's locations now believed a betrayal was taking place inside those guarded walls. As darkness settled over the desert, the rival group moved swiftly. They traveled in unmarked vehicles, leaving no digital traces, following routes used only by experienced smugglers. Their plan was simple: eliminate everyone inside the estate and seize any documents or gold they could find. They acted with the ruthless precision they were known for, trusting the information that pointed to Riya as the link between Zayed's empire and the leaks that had cost them millions. Inside the estate, Zayed and Riya remained unaware of the danger approaching. The security team patrolled casually, believing the location was safe. But the rivals struck without warning. They disabled the outside guards silently, cutting power to the security systems. Panic erupted inside the estate as armed men stormed the building. Rooms were ransacked, private vaults forced open, and hidden storage areas emptied. The attackers worked quickly, determined to leave nothing behind. By the time the estate caught fire from the explosives they planted, Zayed and Riya were already missing. In the chaos, they were either captured or killed. No one could say for certain. When authorities arrived hours later, the entire estate was reduced to smoldering debris. No bodies were recovered. Only fragments of destroyed property and scattered valuables melted by the heat. As the Dubai attack dominated international news, Arjun remained calm and composed in Mumbai. On the night of the incident, he had attended a charity gala filled with business leaders, reporters, and cameras. His presence was recorded in photos, videos, and guest logs, creating an airtight alibi without him ever drawing attention to himself. The next morning, when Riya failed to return home, Arjun used the moment to play the role of a confused and worried husband. He filed a missing person report at a local police station, answering every question with steady concern that appeared completely genuine. Authorities initially treated Riya's disappearance as a domestic case, unaware of her connection to Dubai's underground world. But within hours, information from international agencies began to circulate. A major attack had taken place at a desert estate linked to Zayed al-Rashid, and an Indian woman matching Riya's description had been present moments before the estate burned down. With no survivors and no bodies recovered, investigators could not confirm her identity. The only thing they could establish was that she was likely caught in a violent crossfire between criminal groups. Arjun cooperated fully with the investigators, presenting himself as a devastated husband blindsided by shocking news. His steady composure, combined with his clean financial records, kept suspicion far from him. Investigators found no direct connection between him and any illegal activity. The documents Riya had stolen were untraceable to his device due to the precautions he had taken after discovering her involvement. There were no signs of conflict, threats, or unusual behavior on his part. Every detail supported the image of a man suffering through an unexpected tragedy. As weeks passed, media interest faded. Larger scandals emerged, pushing Riya's disappearance into the background. Dubai authorities closed the case due to lack of evidence, while Mumbai police marked it as an unresolved. Months passed, and Arjun quietly reshaped his life with calculated precision. He sold the apartment he once shared with Riya, telling friends and relatives that the memories were too painful to bear. People sympathized, believing he needed a fresh start after such a tragic disappearance. He relocated to a peaceful coastal town where no one knew the details of his past, blending into a new community with ease. His calm demeanor and reserved personality made him appear as a man seeking solitude, not someone hiding a meticulously executed secret. Behind this carefully managed image, Arjun's financial world transformed. Before leaving Mumbai, he had accessed the offshore accounts linked to Zayed's operations. The chaos after Zayed's disappearance caused panic among his partners, and several accounts went untouched. Arjun had already prepared forged credentials and dummy corporations, allowing him to transfer large sums without attracting suspicion. Over several months, he redirected millions into accounts he controlled under layers of anonymity. The collapse of Zayed's network ensured that no one remained to trace the missing funds or question the silent transactions. Arjun invested the money into legitimate businesses in his new location: real estate, small enterprises, and international funds. Each investment further distanced the money from its criminal origins. His wealth grew steadily, but he kept his lifestyle modest to avoid unwanted attention. To his new neighbors, he was simply a widower rebuilding his life in a quieter place. Despite his calm exterior, Arjun remained alert. He monitored news reports, financial investigations, and international crime updates, ensuring no unexpected threads connected back to him. Every passing month strengthened his confidence that his plan had worked flawlessly. No authorities reached out. No inquiries reappeared. No rival groups searched for him. He had erased every link between himself, Riya, and Zayed's empire.